What's good, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips from a pro player on how to be a better teammate. A lot of these tips might be pretty obvious, but trust me when I say this, it is a very rare thing to find a good teammate, especially in Call of Duty. There's a lot of pros out there in Call of Duty that are horrible teammates, and I want to help you guys, whether you just want to be a better teammate in Call of Duty, any other game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're, playing it casually or you want to go pro in these games. These tips will help you. Trust me, you guys don't want to be labeled as that toxic teammate, the player that no one really wants to play with. It's going to hurt your stock a lot. Tip number 1, and this one is probably the most obvious out of the 5, is just be a good teammate. And what I mean by that is, don't be that teammate that rages all the time, that roasts his teammates. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just tears them down. And I know what people are going to say. There's pro players in the scene that are very successful, and that's how they are. Or there's all these examples of players in sports that do it, or whatever the case may be. And the reason why I'm saying don't be like that is because when you are like that, you are only catering to a very small group of players around you. And what I mean is, a lot of players, whether it be in Call of Duty or other games, other esports, doesn't matter, they don't have thick skin. Okay. And I know that's one of the things. It's like, well, it's not the player who's roasting his teammates or tearing them down. Like, they need to be strong enough to understand this. A perfect example of this that I can share with you guys is Slasher. Slasher, to me, is a great teammate, but that's because I've been in the game for a minute. I have thick skin. I know how to deal with him, but he can rub you the wrong way if you aren't prepared for it, and it's gonna hurt the team, hands down. It's unless you have a mix of players that can deal with it, it's not going to end well. I'm telling you, your teammates are not going to like playing with you. And unless you're unfuckable, you're probably going to have bad rep in the future. The second tip, guys, is be able to take criticism. When you're playing with other players and you're playing in a team, you're going to have bad days, okay? Nothing sweet all the time, okay? There's going to be days where arguments happen, and that's because everyone is competitive. They want to get better. But you as a person need to take criticism. Whether you're the leader, the captain of the team or not, you need to show to your teammates that you can take the criticism. Because whether or not they are good teammates, and they try to talk about your mistakes or your teammates' mistakes in a positive manner, if you can show that you can take criticism, it goes a long way. A lot of players feel like whenever something gets brought up and they made the wrong play, they feel like people are just coming at them. They're like, what? Like, why are you bringing this up? Like, you did, you know what I'm saying? And then they try to push the blame off. And then you just start talking a whole bunch of nonsense. Trust me when I say this, your teammates are telling you this because they want you to improve and because they want the team to improve. Like me, if I'm saying something to one of my teammates, whether I'm pissed or I'm coming off in a nice, calm manner, it's because I want us to be better, period. There is no, I don't hate you. I wouldn't be teaming with you if I thought you sucked. There's none of that. But a lot of people get defensive and they don't understand that your teammates are just trying to help you. It's as simple as that. And to be pretty honest, a lot of pro players struggle with that too. And the reason why it'll help you become a better teammate is because not only will you improve, right? Because you're taking to what they're saying and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't think about it this way, right? Or, yeah, he's right. Like, I'm struggling in this area. Not only will you improve individually, your teammates will see that, okay? And they'll understand that you're putting in the time and the effort to improve, and that goes a long way. Just like I said about being a good teammate, there's a lot of players who people don't want to team with that I know personally just because they're super defensive and they don't think they ever make a wrong play, and they think that one of their teammates is just bringing something up because they don't like them or they just doing it just to bitch. It's like, no, that's not the case. So definitely be able to take criticism, guys. Trust. The third tip, guys, is focus on your communication. And this is huge because a lot of players that I see in Call of Duty, and the third tip, guys, is your communication and why you need to focus on it. There's honestly a lot of players that I've seen in COD, whether they be professional players, challenger players, and even other esports, right? When I watch streams where the communication is horrible, is absolutely dog. Like I'm saying, it's just a bunch of mumbling. You're flooding the comms with useless info. Okay. You know, you're screaming, you're talking over one another. You're not benefiting anyone. You know what I'm saying? And like, you guys know what I'm saying. There's been listen-ins for Call of Duty where I'm just sitting there like, no shot any one of them knows what's going on. No shot any one of them is even listening to each other because it's literally a different language. Or on the opposite side of it, it's mute. Your comms are horrible. You're not talking. You're giving the bare minimum communication. You're not having a conversation with your teammates. That is what you should be doing ideally. A good team, a great team, their communication, it's like they're having a conversation with each other, bouncing things off one another. So it's not just screaming everything you see, right? Screaming call outs, you know, screaming things that are obvious. And it's also not saying anything, you know, or only saying like the bare minimal call outs. You need to be having a conversation. You're getting the right info, the right amount, in obviously the right time, because you don't want to be flooding comms, right? Because a game like COD or any other esport, not communicating something or being so hectic and erratic, you're missing out on valuable info. And when you get to the top level, guys, information is everything, whether you see it or you hear it. Okay, those are the two most important things at the top level, because in the heat of the moment, sometimes you have to go on autopilot and have, you know, just this muscle memory of what you need to be doing on the map, but you also need to be communicating it so you and your team can make on the fly adjustments depending on how the game is going, right? Depending on if you're up or down, depending on if you're playing a team with a certain play style and you need to counter it, or whatever the case may be. Communication is key. There's a lot of players that I see that have absolutely dirt ass communication, and it just gives me a headache, to be honest, watching it and listening to it. So focus on your communication. The fourth tip, guys, is understand your role on the team. And what I mean by that is you got to know, am I the superstar of the team? You know, am I the role player? Am I the gap filler? Do I need to be an aggressive entry sub? Do I need to be the main AR? Whatever the case may be, and that's obviously going to be different depending on your situation, but you need to understand your role. There's too many people out there that play for stats, that just try to look the best, and they screw them and their team over. And it's because not everyone on the team can be Mr. Do It All. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone on the team can be that superstar. And it's not a knock to you if you aren't that superstar of the team, because like I said, depending on your situation, it's going to be different. I've had teams where I've been that guy. I've been the superstar. You know, I've been like, I have this role. I'm going to focus on what I do best, and that's being the superstar. I'm going to have the best stats. I'm going to, you know, be the most flashy, whatever. And then I've also been the role player, the dirty work player, that, you know, it's not going to show up on a scoreboard, but I'm the one who's making those key rotations, right? Or filling those gaps, you know. But at the end of the game, you're like, yo, that wasn't, you know, he didn't play too hot. Or I'm going to be the one getting a lot of the hate if my team doesn't do well, right? Because that is just the territory of being that dirty work role player type, you know. I've been the entry sub. I've been the main AR. I've done it all. So I'm able to speak with personal experience and speak from within about this. You need to understand that, okay? And if you don't, it's going to hurt your team, and it's going to hurt you in the long run. Because if you are the superstar, okay, That's fine, which is great. Make sure your teammates also know that. They need to know that you're the guy who's most likely going to be the guy. You know, you're the guy who's going to be taking the last shot at the end of the game type stuff. Okay. And if you're a role player, gap filler, whatever, understand your role. If you're an entry sub, understand, okay, I need to be the one going in, trying to open something up. Like, I can't play slow here. I can't bait here for my teammates because this is what I need to do. This is, you know, I excel the most at this area. My teammates excel whatever they're doing, and come to an understanding. And not only will you play better in the long run, but your team will play better. And for the last tip, guys, it's simple. It's just grind. It's put in the time. Be dedicated. You know, don't even do what you have to do. Go the extra mile. Okay, show your teammates around. It doesn't matter if you're the best player on the team, you're the worst player on the team. Show that you are constantly willing to grind to improve your craft. Now, I can't say that enough. Once again, guys, all of these tips, definitely this tip, I can speak from personal experience. When I am grinding and I am dedicated and I'm playing 8 to 10 hours a day. I'm playing practice. I'm playing pickups, pickup games, 8s, 10s. I'm watching VOD. I'm showing not only to myself, but my teammates, I'm doing everything I can to be prepared for an event, to improve. Okay, so when I get to this event and I'm playing on main stage for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can't be mad at myself if things don't go how I planned them to, because I put in the time. But you'll also find yourself, when you're in those moments, you're prepared because you put in that extra effort. You know that spawn to a team more, okay? You know the best rotation or whatever the case may be because you're working, okay? You don't take anything for granted. They're like, you're the man, okay? You're on a little bit of a hot streak, okay? All that could be wiped away. It's happened plenty of times. I've been on both sides of that. I've seen it happen. You guys have probably seen it happen where pro players are hot and they're like, yo, this guy might be the best player in the game. Guess what? They stop grinding, they stop putting in that extra time, and they fall off, like in the same game, in its life cycle. And then vice versa, someone who isn't that good in the beginning of the game, and then they learn the game, and then they just keep putting that effort in, that extra effort. They go that extra mile. End of the year comes, and you're like, damn, they're pretty damn good. Like, I was not expecting this, So definitely, if you want to be a better teammate, especially if you want to be a professional, and that doesn't mean Call of Duty specifically, that could be any game. If you mean a professional esports player, you need to grind. Let me know in the comments any videos you want to see in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. The next video, I believe, is going to be a Q&A with my girlfriend Kat. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, go ahead and put them in the comments. I'm going to try my best to get all of them answered, as long as they're good questions. So don't ask questions, please. I'd appreciate that. That's it for me, though. Until the next video, have a good one, guys. I appreciate all the love. See y'all next time. Peace.